I've been rendered up out of the loop, and there's a reason that some people end up like solitary and alone. We were probably already kind of loners to begin with, and then just a little bit more circumstances pushing us up into complete isolation. And it's interesting. Thank God for social media. I remember in 1995 when I first saw where that bulletin boards is what the IBM internet was called. It was just a green screen when it first came out, and then what I'm talking about is 1995 or 96 is when I noticed the chat rooms. I was able to get on there and see. I was up against well, the wilderness area there. What I mean is just I was eh, way up in the mountains. It could be snowing, but really I'm just up against the wilderness. What I mean is I'm the last one before a stretch of wilderness area. And it's kind of interesting. It's not like we're in the city and we are jaded to hell with activities going on there and stuff. I don't know, but well, in 1996, I would say I was still kind of full of it. I guess maybe I'm well on my way. Getting solitary. Talk about that and well, I think that those chat rooms and everything was really interesting. I remember all I can think is like, wow, what a great thing if you were, of course, if you were in outer space or something, but that's what we are in outer space. I mean, wherever you are, if you find yourself here, babes, please include outer space. That's one of the complaints we have with narcissism is that they don't think that has like that's a legitimate backdrop or like thing to recall as say, well, what if it doesn't go through your mind? Maybe it's just reality is there, and do you know that you could be reality oriented instead of it going? See, there's a passage from the eye to the heart that does not filter through the mind. Anyway, boy, this video, at least I mentioned narcissism, everybody's favorite subject matter. It is, well, it's the internet's favorite subject matter. You don't have to do anything but start mentioning narcissism and saying your best about it, and then um, put title up that says narcissism and you'll get a lot of hits is because it's a video game. This is, let alone that we are in a video game wherever you go, you don't even have to have your darn computer or your watch going on. Your watch, come on, people. The language that's spoken here is timeless, timeless, and it's interesting to see um, how it's all right in front of our face in plain view. Really, they're just letting us know. Some of it is like, well, let's just keep it um, as the standard, and of course, there's a whole other civilization. Welcome to Shauna Sci-Fi. But no, the English alphabet points at it when you see what kind of an interfacing system it really is. It shows you that there is a civilization well way ahead. Like if we consider time, it's like 500 years ahead, and we're stuck just stuck at 200 years stuck. Weird. And even going backwards, and then there's the off the charts, like, who cares where this is? This is nowhere, no man's land as far as the one dimensional vibrational frequency, lowercase base waves. Getting back to uh, just locating the upper spectrum, that points at the creation of creation and God really is just really what we're looking at when we start to bring it up, and capitalize whenever you possibly can. Doesn't make any sense that there's just one capital letter at the top of each sentence and the rest drops. Think about it. Why do they have a period there? Well, you're free to capitalize anytime. Try it. But I am well aware that most all the sheep, if you know what the sheep means, then you'll know why not to diss that. Maybe you're just biological intelligence. That's what we're really pointing at when we say the sheep. Um, it's like with anything else. Pigs and cows and all of them. they have a biological feature. They are here doing what? I say that gas that they do, the greenhouse gases, is good for us, and so is the fertilizer and all that stuff. Anyway, thanks for listening to this. I'm jittering because it's like, if anything, it's time to communicate, right? If you want to get out of bad patterning or out of the cycle, there's a cycle. Talk about it. The government puts everybody on that vicious cycle of, if it's not monthly, it's certainly weekly, right? You got to make sure you make a certain amount of money before Friday, because every month I have to have this and that, and it's like, phew, yeah. Sorry, I've never tried it. Never tried it. Never tried just the blatant. Really, I'm a creative person, and that's been hard over the past 3 years. I think I've been trying to talk about it. It's like, well, it's weird how people can give a fuck about your creative life. And when they see that you're possibly, it's like, oh God, that's way too easy. When you're really getting into, oh my God, now if you want to get back to gardening and work on a farm or something, or just being the sheep here, technically, I mean, if you think about it, they're selling our shit. We could bag our shit up and sell it somehow, right? Oh God, science fiction. But think about it, they do. Llama, llama, and well, I don't know about goat do, but whatever animal chews cud and then expels it out, that particular dew um, droppings is good for fertilizer right out of the spigot. You don't have to wait a couple years for it to cool down. It's because they process it through cud chewing, and yeah, they do a better processing. I know for sure llama dew is that way, and they happen to do a lot of dew. If you have them, and they'll do it at one place and in one site. Anyway, God, this conversation. Anyway, not much to talk about. If we are going to start healing and feeling better, we don't sound very interesting to especially moneymakers and the highly rigid, no fun having people that they don't know. I mean, it's like, well, what do you people talk about? They talk about money. Well, yeah, I guess in general we'll talk about, like, well, what do narcissists like to talk about when they are not um, like talking their talk about who they are, like just like this banter of, like, they just put badges on themselves, right? All over the place, and they decorate themselves, and there's a number of that kind of pride parading going on individualistically, egoically, right? That anybody, like, a lot of people will get red flags over it. It's like, that person just say, like, they're proud of that, and it's like, now these people are fucking strange. And if you've known, I live in a place where it's like, yeah, there's cults. There are, well, they call it cliques. They tend to glom onto each other, and they could be whole families. And anyway, it's just interesting, as time goes on, I wouldn't suggest stay too close to it, or develop any kind of emotional dependency, or a dependency any kind of way, shape, or form, because they develop you into a flea, codependent, right? And in a very, very, it's not the way that you say on your taxes, at least that says that they're being upfront about a transaction or something that maybe was necessary, maybe not. See, they are users, and they already have it planned out, like, before they even walk to your door, how they're going to do it. And a lot of people watching this right now are probably going, "No shit, Shauna. I mean, don't you have goals? Don't you know how to do things?" It's like, yeah, no, no. There's people called good friends in life. There's the good friend. There's good friends in our lives, and see, we are up against a society that doesn't know what good friends are. I mention that every once in a while because it's something that's like, whoa, well, look at Facebook. Everybody's on there thinking, oh, thank you for, hey, I'm wondering if you'll be my friend. And it's like, far and few between. You know, I'm out here in the, well, it's not quite that rural anymore, but some, you would think that the neighbors right over here could be good friends, but they're not. I don't even think they're friends themselves. You know, now I'm just, let's have this conversation. What is it? Do you know what a friend is? Really? You know, I'm sorry that I sound like really stringent about, like, I really don't appreciate social media. Um, no, it's like, there's a way to use it, I think, and if you can do an algorithmic play that starts to, it's about attention getting. And so if you can get enough attention, try and make money off it if you can, right? It should be, and I'm not saying that as like a con artist or a beggar or anything. It's like, no, reorganize and orientate yourselves because you don't live next door to your friend. You live next door to your fucking enemy who can give a fuck about you, a single woman, blonde, who lives in the mountains and tries to fend for herself and who's sick and tired of it and watches these people build up. And they keep going, hi, you need something? You need something? And they're not really asking you if you need anything because finally, after the third time, I'm like, yeah, let me have a few boards, you know, a few boards out of the 1,200 of them. See, here I go with this fucking pathetic mentality that is the Venus opposed Neptune. Can you feel any of it? Can you avoid like not complaining about how fucking lame that maybe it really isn't you? Maybe it isn't really you. Maybe you are surrounded by assholes. And I'm here to tell you, if you're listening to it and you got this far and you appreciate it, that maybe social media is here to rearrange us into, you don't have to associate with fucking blithering goddamn assholes. You really don't. You don't. You know, and I don't have to associate like an asshole if somebody says, you know what, I really enjoyed this video, this particular one I enjoyed. You know, it just, I love people, really. I'm an astrologer, and you think about it, it's like, well, you look at the content again, or I look at my content again, to whoever responds it, about whoever responds it, you know, it's like this, well, they must be a Gemini because I talked about words a lot, and Gemini likes words, and they like mentalism, I guess, or, you know, and not a bad thing, really. It's a good thing to be communicative and convey something that is magical, that creates a better environment within the person. Maybe it's awareness, maybe it's to let go of such focus, you know, and getting back to how unfun it is to be around the society of people that don't know how to have fun, basically. And, you know, it's like, oh, God, you know what, babes? It's very real. See, I live where, okay, there's an art school down the way. My grandma is very aware of arts, the arts, and my dad let himself in on playing music, even though he had a stringent life as a militant, and even being a probation officer. Anyway, just rambling on here. It's important to find an art form that at least, you know, really it's for this. It's so it'll open up both hemispheres of your brain, and then really you become more, I guess liquid is the darned word I want to use. It's coherent, you know, like water, my friends, you know, pour it into a teacup, it becomes a teacup. It's not like you can rely that it's being present with the vibrational frequency, you know. It's not like a stone. And it's not like this thing where you have to like kind of adjust and say, well, this thing is, we have to, you know, it's like, well, it's just passing, it's their world and you're just passing through it, kind of a thing. But it's more like, I get the visualization of just there's water flowing and everything around it, and even reality is the stream, the solid stream, and then there's a rock there, and it just stays there, and then the water just has to go around it. It doesn't fuss about it or anything, but see, that's just what's going on, and I don't know, what are you going to choose to be? I don't know. Some people are gracefully going like water, and water is what is able to say everything we think, to tell you the truth. Yes, if you've ever experienced water out in the forest, when it's a waterfall, it begins to say what you think, especially if you are unaware that your mind is going to start being wanting to play tricks on you. The water will say what you think is coming. It's weird. It's like, wait a minute, did I just hear a dog barking or a train coming or a fleet of people walking? And it's like, no, that's just the waterfall. You are paranoid that that's coming. So thanks for listening to all this, guys. I hope that there was something in this that you can get, if anything, we're all trying to break pattern, break cycles. And the way you do that would say if you are doing it with your relationship, if you don't want to just fall off, see, it's about communication. It's about being coherent. Like, figure out, like, well, if you value the relationship, don't you think you should talk and open up a conversation about, like, well, hey, have come to an understanding. Like, let us know what you understand about what, if I have see with people that you find out who are just like wasting your time kind of thing. Um, it's like an eventual drop off. Like the people that don't have a real conversation for you, with you. Like say, well, maybe you have an aspect of yourself that you value more than wasting time with people. I guess it's like, well, can I have some moment to myself? Can I get into my art form? Can I share it with you? See, now that's the worst thing in the world is to be around people that can't appreciate. It's like, why do we have to go through a fucking massive collective black sheep fucking thing? Where now you feel like the kid that wears the hoodie, and it's like, no, we're fucking 50 and 70 and shit. What the hell? And then what's the alternative? Alcoholism. Pretty much. And I'll shut this off now by saying, let's just have some humor about the American presidency. That woman there, she's an alcoholic, the one that's running for presidency. That's very basic, just, to stay anesthetized by something. A lot of them have a drug of choice, and that person, just alcohol. Nothing complex going on, nothing, nobody. I mean, that's the population she's aiming for. To get all into the illusion of, really the illusion that there's a woman up there. I mean, really, there's many human beings. The real politics, babes, has already happened. They talk about it over there. Christ hanging on a shish kebab, and then what happened? Why do they keep killing the women? And what's going on over there in the Olympics? I don't think we have a fucking political arena going on yet. I think we're being held captive, and can we stand up in this stupid fucking place and say, excuse me, but I think we should stop poisoning the water. I think we should stop a lot of shit and save money. When are we going to get out of that mentality? Save your fucking lame-ass fucking soul. Really, it's just, did you become human yet? Save your fucking time here. Do not waste it. Another iota. Find love in your life. Celebrate that which makes you buoyant, that just keeps you staying in the feeling of bliss, because what can you afford around you? People can care less about how you feel. They want you fucking feeling like shit. That's the narcissistic society of it. Hit like and subscribe if you want me to talk more about narcissists. I don't like it. It's terrible. But they see that they are making us. The game they play is to make everything just as miserable as they are. You wonder, like, okay, so what's the conversation with them? You just have to talk about your job, your family. That is the fucking boringest, most. I mean, please save us from that population who's a nobody. I mean, to the worst extent, what it's called is a false self. There's got to be something. There's got to be something more than just. I see that the thing is, yeah. Let's check out your workload. Like, okay, how did you do it? Did you do it just like the standard fucking moneymaker does, where it's just waste your fucking time? Make sure you can carry it over until tomorrow and do it all Home Depot. Do it all Home Depot so that you can come back, yeah, in 2 years. Job security is just make it all plastic. Make sure it falls apart. That's just the way it is. What a fucking runaround. I was trying to talk about it, and it's really hard for me to talk, babes, with Pluto going squaring my Mercury. I kindly warned people. It's like, I warned people before it did it the first time. Oh my God, are you kidding me? Pluto is going to square my Mercury? Bye!